Hey Sugar Snaps, welcome to part 2 of my Knit Beanie project series. If you're new to my channel, welcome in. My name is Brittany. I am a fiber crafter, and here on YouTube I share tutorials and inspirational videos in basketry, natural dyeing, spinning, knitting, and other fiber crafts, and I'm so glad you're here. This section of the hat that we're working on today is going to be the body of the hat. So in last week's video we did the Knit One Purl One ribbing for the brim of the hat, and that's so that we can fold it up. And check the description below for the pattern for today. I have that written out if you want to reference that, as well as videos in my knitting beginners tutorials. Now today we're going to build or knit the body of this hat. So we're going to do first off 4 rows of knit and then 4 rows of purl, and alternate that 4 times. So 4 rows knit, 4 rows purl, 4 times. You'll knit all 3 needles all the way around to complete a row, and your tail, where you left off your tail here at the base, that is how I know where my start and stop are. So this is the end of one row, and then this needle is the start of a new row. So that's one way to gauge. You can also use a stitch marker by putting in a little stitch marker into the between the stitches that are the first and the next row. To count your rows to ensure that you've done all 4 rows of knitting, you're going to find the little V shapes like this one here. This is my first row because I have a V stitch right here above my last purl row. So this row right here in between my knit rows was a purl row for my ribbing. And then right up here I have a little V right there. That's stitch number 1, stitch 2, stitch 3, and stitch 4. So you can see the little V's right in there. Each row built one on top of the other. So that is 4 rows of knitting. Now I'm going to do 4 rows of purl stitch. So make sure you've ended on the same needle where your tail is. So my next row starts on this needle right here. And we're going to do a purl stitch, which means that the yarn needs to come forward so it's in front of your knitting. And then your needle is going to come from the back, catch the front of the loop, and crisscross to the front of your loaded needle. So this needle that has the stitches, we're going in front of that, and then you're going to wrap the yarn around in front like so, pull that loop back and behind, and then drop the previous stitch off the end of your loaded needle. That's your first purl stitch. So now we'll do another one. Bring your needle to the front of this loop, wrap the yarn around the end of that needle, and then pull on your yarn to kind of cinch it into the space between the needles, and then send your needle through, catch the loop, and drop the stitch off the end of that needle. That is your purl stitch. So we're going to do 4 rows of purl stitch, building up a section of purl for the body of this hat. Continue to knit 4, purl 4 until you have 8 sections in this pattern, and that will give you a nice amount of length for the body of the hat. If you want this to have a little bit extra room in the crown so that it extends, it doesn't fit snugly to your head, you can add several more rows to this section. So you would continue knitting 4 rows, purling 4 rows until you're happy with the length. Here it looks a little bit short, but it does stretch out or expands as you put it over something. You can see here it stretches out. And the ribbed section at the bottom, that 4 inches we made last week, we will be folding that up. So here you can see it in its full length. It looks a little bit funky in shape, maybe more like a sleeve, but then we'll fold that brim up, and so we'll have a nice brim for this hat.
Yay! So we finished the body of our beanie today, and what we have left is the decrease and binding off. We will do that in video 3. Thanks so much for joining me in this video and working on a knit beanie project. Again, check the links in the description below for all of the goodies to help you in your project. Like this video because it makes my heart happy, and it does really help the Textile Indie channel grow and allows me to keep doing this that I'm doing. So thanks for doing that, and subscribe if you haven't already so you get notified when I put out new videos. Until next week, happy making and have fun with your knit hat project. Bye.